Calculus! This is AP Calculus, Lesson 5-3, Advanced Power Antiderivatives. Today is Thursday, November 15th, this beautiful day before Thanksgiving break. We still have Friday left still, I guess. Unfortunately, Ben is not with us. So Ben, hello. You guys want to say hello to Ben? You have to shout. They're both just giving me weird looks, Ben. I don't know what to make of that. So let's just go ahead and assume that they're sad that they miss you. Let's go ahead and talk about advanced power antiderivatives. What is up over here? Okay, so we have advanced anti-quotient, advanced anti-radicals, and on the back, advanced anti-combo. So we know how to use Taxman. We had a giant homework assignment that I forgot to check off today, and I'll check that off after the lesson if you guys remind me. Let's go ahead and solve this guy. So the integral of this rational. Ugh, gross, rationals. We don't like them in AP Calculus because they're hard in quotient rule. So let's go ahead and transform that so we don't have a rational anymore. Let's get rid of the fraction. How do we do that?
You move it up to a negative power.
Move it up, make it a negative power. I agree with all of these things. 16 times 2x plus 1, all that to the power of what? Negative 5. Don't forget your d of x. Cool. So this is the thing that we're going to be using for Taxman and U substitution. So let's go ahead and just draw arrows. We're going right there. We're going right there. That is our starting problem now. So that's the trick. Let's go ahead and see how that trick works. Taxman. What three things do I need? Good review. I need...
You.
There you... Okay, I'm not... I really wanted to. I did half of it.
Yeah, but then you always correct yourself in the middle, which is also not that great. Well, you know what?
Just don't do it, Mr. Sindel. Just don't
or just
do it.
Do it all the way.
Or just do it.
Both. Okay, we also need Taxman.
We also need a Taxman. We also need U prime. All right, let's find these things. Where are you?
I'm at 2x plus 1.
You are at 2x plus 1. And who is knocking at the front door, Arrow?
16.
16, our Taxman. He wants to collect. U prime is going to be what, Rochelle?
2.
2. Cool. So we found our three things. Let's go ahead and pay the Taxman. Let's pay him. Again, you can't pay the Taxman a variable rate. You can't pay him x. We're going to pay the Taxman with this fraction of 16 over 2, which is 8. So when I pay the Taxman, what is my new integral now?
8 times 2x plus 1 to the negative 5.
8 times, oh, got some lag there, 2x plus 1 to the negative 5th. Don't forget your d of x to be formal, to be pedantic. It's really formal. You're not being pedantic by writing the d of x. Most people will write that, even kids learning about this in Africa or wherever. So when I take the antiderivative now, help me out. Antiderivative means I don't have this summation symbol. I don't have this dx anymore. I'm doing...
Oh, it would be 4 over 3 times 2x plus 1 to the negative... Oh, wait, no, it's 2. Huh? Wait, sorry, I'll do it easy. So it's going to be negative 4.
Negative 4.
Plus c, plus c, plus c.
Add the c before we forget.
Divided by negative 4.
Divide by negative 4. That simplifies down to...
Negative 2.
Negative 2. And the rest is the same. 2x plus 1 to the power of negative 4 plus c. And box the answer. Chunk, 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 and chunk. Cool. And this is also equivalent. If I wanted to turn it back into a fraction, what would that fraction look like? Just the other answer that you can get. The other answer that you might see in the multiple choice. You might get what? Turn this back into a fraction with a positive power.
Negative 2 over 2x plus 1 to the 4th plus c.
Yep, 2x plus 1 to the power of 4 plus c. So that's the other answer. We can box that one too. Both of those are answers. Let's say it doesn't matter for the test because the test is multiple choice. For the homework, let's say for the homework tonight, let's go ahead and aim for this form. So on homework, do this one. The reasoning, again, is just to make sure you know both of them. You'll probably hit this form automatically, but let's go ahead and do this form on the homework. All right, U substitution. What two things do we need? We only need 2, not 3, but there are 5 steps instead of 3 steps.
You need u.
U. I should switch to blue. U and
D of x.
and d something of d of x.
Du over d of x.
Yeah, du dx. All right, so what is u?
2x plus 1.
Same thing. 2x plus 1, you can look at the left side. And du dx, the derivative of u, or u prime, it's the same thing over here. That's u prime. Okay. What's my second step after finding u and du dx?
You have to cross multiply in order to find dx.
Yeah, you're going to cross multiply, chunk, chunk, and we get d of x times 2, so 2. And I think we can skip that step, hopefully, in our head. So we can automatically get to d of x. d of x is now equal to 1 over 2. 1 over 2?
Du.
Yeah, there it is, du. Don't forget your du. All right. So what is my next step? What am I going to do?
Then you plug it in.
Plug it in.
You substitute u, and yeah,
I
you
think
sub-
that's the next step, though. What part first? I don't know.
Plug it in, substitute. It's the same word. Let's go ahead and do it. I think we're all talking about the same thing.
Okay.
So when I plug this into this integral, I get what?
16 times u to the negative fifth times it by 1 over 2 du.
1 over 2 du. Yeah, this d of x turned into a 1/2 du because of this step. And that inside 2x plus 1 changed to a u. All right, we have done our u substitution. Now we need to actually start using it. The reason we did the u substitution was to make it easier to integrate. And when we do the integral, maybe, do you want to simplify the integral first and then integrate? Would that be better? Because we have this 1/2 and the 16. Should we simplify it first?
Let's do that.
Let's go ahead and simplify it. Okay, so when I simplify this, it now is what integral?
8 times u to the negative fifth du.
Negative fifth du. And you guys automatically see how that looks already between this step right here and this step down here. Do you see how they're so close? This is a cutesy way of, Taxman is a cutesy way of getting that 8 automatically. Just making sure we see the connection there, the conceptual understanding a little bit. And finally, next, well, I guess not finally, because we need to do this a little bit more, but I'm going to take the antiderivative to get what?
It would be 8 times u to the negative 4 divided by negative 4
All over negative 4
plus c.
plus c. All right.
Times it by du, or no?
No.
So the du and then the integral, they always go away. Yeah. All right, and I can write that over here too. Those went away. Next, let's simplify this and get our u back in there. Do all those things. You can do it all at once if you want. Or we can do 2 separate steps.
What do you mean?
Okay, let's plug our u back in and then simplify.
Okay.
Or vice versa, it doesn't matter.
2x plus 1 is u.
Okay, so I have 8 times 2x plus 1. That was substituted back in. I have that negative 4 all over negative 4. And now let's simplify. Go for it, Rochelle.
Oh, it would be negative 2. Wait. You mean simplify?
Yeah, negative 2
Oh, over 2x plus 1 to the 4th power plus c.
to the 4th power plus c. All right, and box our final answer. Chunk, chunk. Oh, the lag is killing me. Same answer as the left. Cool. It looks like I annoyed Arrow by saying we should do one thing, but saying we could also do another thing. Advanced anti-radicals. You know how to get rid of a radical. Let's go ahead and change that form. Change that form to what?
It would be negative 10 times 5x minus 7 to 1 over 2.
5x minus 7 to the power of 1 over 2 to the power of 1/2. Don't forget your dx. All right. What do you guys want to use? Do you want to use taxman or use substitution? We don't have to do both this time because I know that you know how to do that. Which one do you prefer? Taxman. Rochelle, do you also prefer taxman?
Sure.
All right. We need 3 things. Walk me through it.
So you need u, taxman, and u prime.
Taxman, u prime. Arrow, can you find those things for me?
U is 5x minus 7.
Okay.
Taxman is 10. Negative 10.
Negative 10. And u prime?
And u prime is
5. All right. Rochelle, let's pay the taxman.
It's negative 2.
We're going to pay the taxman with negative 2, so go ahead and do that.
So it's negative 2 times 5x minus 7 to the 1 over 2 power d of x.
All right. Who wants to take the antiderivative for us? Antiderivative.
So would it be negative 2 times it over 1 times it by 2 over 3. Because when you add
It's
1
gonna.
over 2 to 1, it would be 3 over 2.
You add. Oh, yeah, okay, got it.
And to like, and you have to divide down.
Yeah.
So it'd be the reciprocal, I guess. You
So
could
it'd
say.
be
So it'd be 2
4
over
over
3. 2 over 3.
So she's doing the next step.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. So dividing by 3/2 is the same thing as multiplying by 2/3 because that is the reciprocal. Good keyword there, Rochelle. And we can simplify this a little bit further. By the way,
Plus C.
Oh, yeah.
by the way, the form. Thank you, Rochelle. By the way, we need to have this form with a square root in it. My final answer should have a square root. If I give you something that starts with a square root, it should end with a square root. If I give you something that starts with a fraction, it should end with a fraction. If I give you something that has a negative power, I'm okay if you give me out a negative power. But if I give you a fraction, you need to give me back a fraction.
Wait, does
Oh,
it have
so
to have a
this one
square
would be the
root,
square
or
root 3.
Can it have the cube root, though?
It can have a cube root. It can have a
Okay,
fourth
that was
root.
close. All right, yeah.
You can do whatever you want. Yep, as long as it has some sort of root in it.
I'm assuming that's what it's called. I
Yeah.
don't actually-
This one won't have a cube root, and I don't know if any of the homework will. I think they, in AP Calculus, usually just max out at square root.
Oh, that's good.
All right, tell me what to do. What am I going to do?
So it'd be negative 4 over 3 times it by 5x minus 7 over to the power of 3 over 2.
All right,
Yeah,
let's go ahead and
so-
simplify that power. 3 over 2. To the power of 3 over 2. How do I do that? Turn it into a radical form.
5x minus 7 to the power of 3.
Yep.
And then the square root of everything that's not the negative 4 over 3.
N plus c. Yep. So you can write it that way, or you could have written it this way. Negative 4/3. So this is exactly the same. Maybe I should do this as a different color. It's the exact same as negative 4/3 is still the same. And you can also do it like this. The square root, come on now, computer. Square root of 5x minus 7 to the power of 3 like that, plus c. Both of those are the same, whichever you prefer. Because what's really happening is 3/2 is the same thing as, this is my rationale for why I did that, 3/2 is the same thing as 3 times 1/2, which is the same thing as 1/2 times 3. This is just the commutative property of multiplication of exponents, and then the exponents turn into the radical form. So you can have one first and then the other, or vice versa.
Why wouldn't it be cube root?
It's not cube root, so, and yeah, let me do this on the side. So if I have the power of 1/3, anything a to the power of 1/3 is equal to the cube root of a. But we add something to the 1/2. So 1/2 is square root.
The denominator is the one that makes it what type of root.
And then you can
Perfect, yep.
remember, you can remember it's a denominator because if you write it like that and it's just a square root, then it's still a fraction. Because otherwise it'd just be 2. So.
Yeah. All right. We know all that knowledge. We're good. We're ready to go to the back. All right, flip it over. Advanced anti-combo. So now I mix both of them together. Combo just means I have a fraction and, or I guess a rational and a radical. A rational radical. That sounds like a good band name. You guys can pay me royalties on that name later when you're famous. Let's go ahead and turn this into what?
Would it be x times 3x squared plus 5 to the power of 1 over 2?
3x
Yes.
squared plus 5 to the power of, what did you say?
1 over 2?
1 over 2 like that, dx? Negative or
yeah,
positive?
Negative.
Yeah, it is negative. Perfect. And cool. So, are we doing taxman or use substitution on this one?
Say taxman again.
All right, let's do it. What 3 things do we need, Rochelle? No, wait. Rochelle, you did this last time. Arrow, you find those 3 things. You tell me what 3 things, and then Rochelle will find them.
Okay, we need U, taxman, and U prime.
All right, Rochelle, you are going to find those things.
So u is 3x squared plus 5. The taxman is 6x.
6x?
No.
I think you might have seen this as a 6, maybe.
Oh, wait, x, my bad.
All right, you good? X and
U prime is 6x.
6. Ah, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Got it.
And Arrow, what are we going to pay the taxman with?
1 over 6.
1 over 6. Okay, let's go ahead and pay the taxman. Arrow, you can do this. When I pay the tax man, my new integral becomes...
Yeah, I have to write it first. 1/6 times 3x squared plus 5 to the negative 1/2 dx.
All right, perfect. Rochelle, you want to take the antiderivative for us?
So it would be 1/6 times 3x squared plus 5 to the power of 1/2. And you have to multiply 2 to 1/6.
Yep. Sorry, why do we multiply by 2? You're about to explain.
Because you're basically dividing 1/2 to 1/6, but you can also do the reciprocal of 1/2.
Yeah, just multiply by the reciprocal. Yeah. All right, and Arrow, you're going to simplify for us. All simplified, the final answer. Go ahead and do that. I'll give you some time. Rochelle, you should be doing it too. Once you get your answer, you can let me know what you got.
It's right fractions. Got it. No. Okay.
Sorry.
1/3 times the square root of 3x squared plus 5.
3x plus 5 plus c. Rochelle, is that what you got?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. There it is. That's the notes. Any questions? All right.